Your organization has a DEI dashboard. It tracks who you hire, who you keep, and who makes it into the leadership pipeline. Real metrics gathered with real care. But do you track whether the AI tools your diverse workforce uses every day actually work for them? Probably not. And that gap is a tax paid disproportionately by the exact employees your dashboard says you're trying to support. I call it the inclusion tax. And the reason it stays hidden is that it's paid in increments too small to itemize. No single instance looks like a crisis, but it's the accumulation that does the damage. Let's make it concrete, because abstraction is how this stays hidden. A transcription tool mangles the names of your Southeast Asian colleagues. So the searchable record of the meeting, the document that becomes institutional memory of who proposed what, garbles their contributions. A voice interface misunderstands accented English, so that employee repeats themselves, slows down, code switches into an accent the machine was trained on. Extra labor their colleagues never perform. An avatar or presentation tool defaults to lighter skin, so the employee generating the training video watches the system quietly lighten the people in it. A writing assistant strips the cadence of a multilingual employee's prose and replaces it with standard American English, so their distinctive voice gets flattened to a default every time they accept a suggestion. Each one is small, measured once. None would survive a prioritization meeting, but they don't just happen once. They happen every meeting, every document, every interaction, every day. And they fall hardest on the people whose faces and voices and names sit furthest from the center. In aggregate, that's a daily tax on productivity, confidence, and belonging. Compounded, because every new tool you deploy untested adds a line to the bill no one is reading. This is the seam your DEI dashboard doesn't see. You can hire, retain, and promote an exquisitely diverse workforce, and simultaneously deploy an AI stack that gives those same people a systematically worse day. Both can be true at once, and for many organizations, both are. This miss is structural, not an oversight. DEI metrics and AI performance metrics live in different parts of the building, owned by different people, reported up different chains. DEI sits with people functions, measured in headcount and retention. AI performance sits with IT and procurement, measured in uptime, accuracy, and cost. They rarely share a meeting, let alone a metric. So the question in the gap between them is, does the technology we deploy give an equitable experience to the workforce we built? This question belongs to neither function cleanly, and thus belongs to neither function at all. I documented this on my own face and voice in Building Me Back. The tools performed measurably worse on my inputs, disclosed by no vendor, found by my own testing. Now scale that one finding across a whole workforce, spread it over thousands of daily interactions, and route it through an organization where no one is responsible for noticing. That's the inclusion tax, and it's being paid right now. It's the same as what I've been documenting in Lyfgenia on the healthcare side. AI systems producing different outcomes for Black patients, unnoticed, unnamed, and untracked on anyone's dashboard. Employees or patients, the failure is identical. A demographic-sensitive system deployed without anyone owning the demographic question. The most expensive AI failure is almost never the one that makes the headline. The headline failure at least has the virtue of being known. Someone caught it, named it, and now you can respond. The genuinely expensive failure is the one no one has caught yet. The hiring tool quietly downranking non-Western names for 18 months, so you never see the qualified people you never interviewed. The customer service system producing slightly worse responses for certain names, so the churn shows up with no obvious cause. The voice interface that works in the demo and fails for 30% of your actual users, so adoption sags and everyone blames change management. These aren't catastrophic in any single moment. They're chronic. And chronic failures are expensive in exactly the way that's hardest to act on, because the cost is distributed across a dozen line items that all look like ordinary business friction. Your DEI dashboard tells a true, albeit partial story. The inclusion tax is the rest of it, and your most underrepresented employees are paying it in small increments every working day. Now, Will you measure it before they decide they're unwilling to continue to pay? Include builds that bridge. Full field note on Substack. Subscribe.